Instagram and drop your question when we throw it out there. A couple other topics around the league, fellas. A couple other hot topics. Steve Nash today said that Kyrie Irving, that the Nets are basically preparing for no Kyrie at home games because he has not gotten the jab. I will not say the V word because YouTube is very sensitive with that, so we'll just call it the jab. Kyrie Irving hasn't gotten it. We know that the Nets practice facility has been classified as a private facility, so he's able to practice with them, but he won't be able to play at home games, and he won't be able to play at Madison Square Garden against the Knicks. So very interesting, man. JD, how do you feel about that? Will Kyrie...
I feel about that because the thing is, we'll miss Kyrie in the Garden because he averaged 27.2, which is the highest a player averaged since 2012, the 2012 season. Since the 2012 season, he's the player that averages the most points inside of the Garden, Madison Square. So, yeah, that's how I feel about it, you know. And also, he beat y'all when he stripped Randall, and then the game prior before that, he had knocked down a big three at the end of the game. Kyrie plays great. He probably played better than the players on your team, you know. Kyrie, say that. I want to hear him say that. Say Kyrie plays better than the players on your team in the Garden. Let's see what he talking about. What they talking about. Knicks fans. Fancy pants fans.
Kyrie tank the Nets season. I'm here for the chaos, man. I'm here for all of it. I'm here for the drama and the chaos when it comes to the Nets, man. What do you think about it?
See what I'm saying? Where's the love? Where's the love in the heart of the city? But it's cool. Continue.
Man, I told you, like, could you imagine? They don't have a Nets fan TV.
Yeah.
So nobody's breaking that down.
No.
Nah, they gonna stop saying that. Yo, I'm telling you, I'm tired of this. Every time I watch them, they say this. Like, there's guys that got YouTubes, and the reason why they always go to that is because it's true, and I give them that. No, there is no Nets fans TV, but I can make it possible. I'm gonna make it possible so y'all can stop talking spicy. Excuse me. But continue. Yo, man, sound like they throwing subs.
And that's probably why they went to the other side. I think Kyrie looked at some of the things that he does, and he's like, yo, I can't be a Knick. If I'm a Knick, man, you imagine, like, this story would be crazy. But
That's right. What are you trying to say? We can't handle the pressure we took off of y'all? What are you talking about, man? Stop playing with me, man. Yo, don't say nothing slick about no players on my team. Why y'all even talking about the Nets? Talking about y'all ready for the... Like, what y'all ready for this broom? Yeah, get ready for this broom. Yeah, bring a dustpan. Yeah.
I wonder, will he tank the Nets? I mean, we still have some time left, but it sounds like, and if Kyrie is a guy that, he's very strong in his beliefs, and, to each his own, respect everyone's, political, perspectives and affiliations and stuff like that. But in terms of on the basketball court, I wonder if the Knicks benefit from all this. Can the Knicks benefit from that situation? Because now you're talking about 40 plus games. I think California is going to join that mandate. So when that means when they play, the Golden State Warriors, you're talking about the Lakers, you're talking about the Kings. That's 3 teams in the state of California. Those are games that he could potentially miss as well. What does that do for the organization? What does that do from the win-loss record? It's going to be very interesting. And for my prediction of 50 wins, hey, listen, I ain't mad at it.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm honest.
So much to say about 50 wins when y'all only got 41 wins. Can y'all get 50 wins this season? Make that prediction. Got so much to say about what's going to happen with Kyrie. Like, we know he not important. We know what he means to the team. but we still got a cohesive team that plays scrappy defense, that's listening to Kyrie. Kyrie the big homie. He there with us in spirit. So won't ever talk spicy about no player on my team, including Kyrie. Now, he said what?
Honestly, not mad at it from a basketball standpoint because, I'm trying to get as high as the seed as possible. However, this kills his trade value, right? Like, who wants to get that type of, drama into their organization? Like, who would want to deal with that? So it kills his trade.
Hold on, what you talking about drama? Y'all threw Oakley out the Garden. Spike Lee couldn't even hardly get in the Garden. What are you talking about, man? Drama? Y'all drama. There was a fight with Isaiah Thomas and Denver. What you mean drama? Y'all the ones that got all the drama. Yo, stop talking spicy about the Brooklyn Nets. You keep talking about the Knicks, right? That's why I'm here, to let y'all know. Now, what he said?
Trade value, even I guess if the Nets wanted to make a move, I think the Nets are stuck. What do you do? And if you
what? The Nets could never be stuck. Stuck where? What you talking about? Y'all the ones that stuck. We running the city. Know what I'm saying? Y'all moving in place like a treadmill, but we running the city. We running laps around y'all. What you talking about? You see, we was in second place. I wish y'all well, and then this is the thanks I get. Audacity of these Knick fan fancy pants. What he said? What he said?
If he's gonna miss games, they still have enough to win. They still have enough to win these games, but does that knock him down a seed or two? I think this playoffs is going to be very important on seeding, because when you talk about the Knicks, as this relates to the Knicks, you don't want the Nets to be a 4 or 5 seed, and then you're the Knicks, you're a 4 or 5 seed, and now you're playing the Nets in the first round of the playoffs. So I think this is very important for Knicks fans to watch as you see some of these things.
Yeah. Back down, you heard? Back down, you heard? Like I say, he don't want no smoke. He don't want to see us in the playoffs. He said it. That's your top Knicks fan, right? Huh? Knicks fan TV, that's what he say. Yeah, he shook like a leaf in October. He don't want no smoke. You know that, bro. Bring that dustpan. Bring that dustpan, young man. Stop playing with me, man. What he say?
Things develop, because maybe not today, but later on the season, it could come back to affect us either positively or negatively.
True story, man. I think, look, they're gonna be their deep team. They're gonna be ferocious, even with KD and Harden, and then they're gonna be nice. They had a good offseason, both in the draft and just adding, veteran free agents. I wonder how it's gonna, upset that chemistry, because they still never really got on the same page, because they were always injured. One guy was injured, one guy coming back, and so on and so forth. So how does that impact the chemistry? And again, the seeding. How does that impact the seeding over the course of the 82-game season? It'll be very interesting to see how that plays out, man. Alex, what's your thoughts on it?
Well, according to Alex Schiffer of The Athletic, Blake Griffin and everyone in the locker room apparently is not talking about the dilemma with Kyrie right now. So I don't know, as a whole team, how they're feeling about the situation. Apparently it's not being discussed, but I don't truly believe that. I think they are. I think they just don't want to say anything. But look, as JD said, it benefits the Knicks if Kyrie can't play at least 41 games. And think about it, it's not even only 3, JD, it's 4. We got the Clippers too in there in that state as well.
Yep.
We got 4, and then when the Knicks and the Nets play, Kyrie can't play because he's still in the state of New York. So we're talking over half the games, way over half the games we're talking about he's going to miss.
Yeah.
So as of right now, that's, if you calculate just half the games, 41 games that he has to miss, that's $15.6 million out the window that he's not earning, because it's $380,000.
Yo, the pocket watch your Knickerbockers, man. Don't worry about that, man. Just know that y'all gotta focus on y'all team and whatever y'all gonna do. Don't worry about that. This is what I be saying, talking about the other guys on the other side, man. Y'all be talking spicy, man. Stop playing with the players or the Brooklyn Nets. I'm gonna pull up. What he say?
$1,000 that he misses per game. So he will be, he can be at practice. You saw the New York City ordinance that allowed him to be at the facility, because they claim the facility to be an office. I will now start saying that every gym I attend is an office. But I think for the Nets, like, this puts the Knicks in like a good situation if Kyrie can't play to a certain degree, because Harden and like KD are still two of the most prolific scorers. They're still, like, as you said, CP, they're a deep team. It's going to be so hard to stop them. Their defense is going to be interesting. I mean, the addition of Patty Mills, still have Joe Harris on the team. There's a lot of guys that you got on that team that still gotta give tip your hat to, and just like know that they're going to get theirs. So they're not going to be easy. I still think even if you don't have Kyrie, we saw what James Harden and KD look like on this team, just them two alone last season, especially when Kyrie wasn't playing with them. And they're still a dynamic team. They can still easily be a top 2-3 team in the Eastern Conference. So it just helps because you could potentially steal a game. We were very close last season in some of those games against the Nets when they had either just Kyrie and Harden, or it was just KD. Like, we were still close in those games. So it'll be good for the Knicks as a matchup. But overall, like, this team is I still have this team like in the top, going to compete in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, they're still going to be lethal, man. Like I said, I just like to see the fires raging in Brooklyn right now. Gotcha.
Yeah, absolutely. It's beautiful.
And,
I mean, where it's going to definitely affect him, though, is if he is, in fact, going to miss even half of those 40 months. Because CP, like, the season could start, he could still get, he can still get it and play, right? At any point. So, okay, so, we'll see if he gets up there, because the season could start and things could happen, and then he can make he can make a decision, and, then he's available. But what it will do, though, it puts pressure on the franchise and the coaching staff to.
Nah, that's true right there, because I look at it the same way. Well, I'll agree with that, and say that we don't know what he wants to do. We know he wants his privacy, and me respecting his privacy, again, it's a long season. I want to kind of wait it out. I don't want to, jump the gun and not like that. I kind of want to, just let's see how it goes. Let it unravel,
To now have to play Kevin Durant and James Harden almost every game, because, I mean, yes, you care about the playoffs, but you don't want things to get out of control either. You still want to fight for home court advantage. You still want to get up there. And so, you see teams like the Lakers who have barely played LeBron in this preseason. The Lakers are going to be a team that's going to, load manage. The Clippers are known for that. The Sixers. So a lot of organizations, they're going to treat the season, yes, they're playing for seeding, but they also are going to rest players. If Kyrie's out, Kevin Durant, Harden need to play, and they need to play a lot of games. So that, I don't know that organization wants to be able to be cornered into a strategy that maybe they didn't have going into the season, which then could affect the locker room. It could affect some of the chemistry. So, and this is real life now. You're involved in real life and perspectives and what you believe in. I know players, they say, all the right things, but you don't know how some of the net players feel. They may be against it, they may be for it.
Yeah.
So it's a very touchy, topic, and it's going to be interesting to see how it develops throughout the season.
For sure. And in terms of trade, I don't see him getting traded, man. I don't think KD tosses him over the ship, but I think, the two of them went there just to start some.
Hold on, man. First off, KD not tossed. Listen, don't you know it's a ship? It's a named champion. Like, hold on, but I'll get into that later, man. Don't worry about what we doing. Y'all talking about trade. I know one of y'all sentences getting traded. Talk about that when y'all talk about trades. What happened? CP franchise, talk to me, man. Talk about one of those centers getting traded. You trying to tell me that roster y'all got going to last up until next season? I doubt it. Somebody getting traded. Like, come on, man. If you gonna talk about trades, what he say?
Something together. I don't see KD, stabbing him in the back to try to improve the team. If they did go for that Simmons trade, I think they'd be ferocious if they did that. I think they would be ridiculous if they went after Simmons, but I don't even see that happening. So for now, it just seems like, from what Steve Nash is saying, it seems like they're just gonna ride the wave and see how it all plays out, man.
Yeah, and I'm, as JD pointed out, we're talking about real life. We're talking about humans, right? Like, there's actual emotion behind this. I can only imagine it's going to get annoying at some point when you have reporters asking what's happening with Kyrie every single day during practice, after practice. Teammates are going to be asked the question, what's happening with Kyrie? And it's going to wear on them at some point. Us being Knicks fans, we know what how the New York media asks questions, how they can be ferocious and just posing questions and just continuously berating you with the same question over and over until they get an answer because they want the truth. So I can't imagine that's going to go over too well with the Brooklyn Nets. Now, they do have small coverage, so it may not be that big, but I also don't think that this is a team where they take criticism like as individuals very lightly. I think their personalities, like they don't like to be offended. So I can only see how this is going to play. I can only imagine how this will play out. I don't see it ending really well unless something changes or they figure it out some way, some other.
Yeah. And they have to win this year. I mean, when I looked at this
biggest embarrassment in sports, like I always tell you.
When I looked at this experiment, I thought they had to win last year, and I'm like, okay, you didn't win. You could look at it, okay, as another Miami situation. Miami didn't win the first year; they came back the second year. Well, if you're gonna look at it that way, this is the year you have to win because, these players are not, getting younger.
That pressure, we want that pressure, know that pressure, we learned that pressure, understand that pressure. Steve Nash going into his second year with the draft class that can help build his career. Talk to me nice, man. It's Big Fan Breezy with the Brooklyn Net recap, the Knicks fans TV, know what I'm saying? So yeah, shout to them, but yeah, that's what it is, man. Let's see what he said.
No, they're getting much older. Durant next year will be 34. James Harden's going to be 33, and it's just the NBA. Like when I saw that Miami Heat team, we all thought, why watch basketball? They're going to win every year. Same thing with the Golden State Warriors, right? Like why watch basketball? They're going to win every year. And when you look back at it, these teams, these super teams, have a 4 or 5 year tenure, and at most they win like 2 championships, right? Because things happen, players move, injury happens. So that organization, they have a lot of pressure to win this year because if they don't, you don't know what's gonna happen after this year.
Yeah, true.
And
Yo, you must not heard what I said, man. We make love to the pressure. We ready for it. Trust me, we got rookies hitting game winners. Please, man. Don't get me started talking about Cam Thomas, man. But this is Big Fan Breezy with the Brooklyn Nets. I'm saying recap over the Knick Fans TV. Like I said, shout to them. But y'all know what it is, man. Knick fan up, Knick fan down. I don't play around. Peace. But not really, because it's a rivalry. And he say he wanted chaos. So this season gonna be intense. We swept y'all. Bring that dustpan, you heard? We ready for this season. Ready like spaghetti. It's Big Fan Breezy. And we see y'all 11:30.